fucking go, guys. 15% on some SPY calls here, and this is the part where people tell you that the stock's over with, don't get in. But what they don't realize is that this can be the retest. Now, look at that, guys. Exactly what I'm talking about. Now, those contracts are well over at another retest here or another retest entry here. And again, guys, look at this. Even again, another retest entry here. This is how I'm going to show you guys my transparency. So let's go back. Good morning, my fellow traders. Welcome back, guys. 7:41 a.m. It's currently Thursday, March 13th, and let's see, guys, what we're going to trade today. Now, my thesis already is practically very simply waiting for some puts, and let's talk about it, guys. Why am I waiting for some puts? Now, yesterday, I already told you guys the way my brain thinks is I use the higher time frames to see where I am at in the market. And again, look at where I'm at in the market. Again, every time we hit this general area, we tend to bounce. Now, I can make it a little bit less ugly. And basically, all I'm trying to say is every single time we hit this general area, we tend to bounce. So if we could break below today and get below, then I might take some puts today. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting for. If we do end up bouncing, I'm not going to take calls until we're above a specific levels. But until then, guys, I'm just going to watch the market and see what's going on. But currently right now, it does look like it's kind of rejecting. Apple's rejecting. AMD's rejecting. QQ's done for. So SPY puts are going to be the move today. So SPY's breaking down below this level. I can take an entry below here right now as we speak. This is officially the break and retest entry. If I do enter, which that honestly, as I'm speaking, probably is the entry there. I do want to see a little bit of a decent pullback. This is what ideally you want. This is the part where people tell you that the stock's over with. This is the time where people tell you it's pumping, don't get in. But what they don't realize is that this can be the retest. Now, worst case scenario, guys, these things pump up an extra, I don't know, 50 cents, and I just have to exit around here. But when you catch a retest, even though it pulls back to a level where you think that this isn't a good entry, guys, this is the entry. Contracts went for 383 a piece here. Now, I'm gonna show you exactly why waiting for a pullback like this is vital. Because now the contracts are well over $20 a piece, and pretty soon they'll go to 420, which makes it over 10% move within that single entry. Which is why entries are important, because now people are now probably thinking, let me enter in here. But the reason why I don't enter in here is because, guys, if this thing pulls back again, I'm going to be down $20. You can wait this thing to pull back so that the contracts lose $20 worth of value so that you can enter in there, better entry. And that is how you capture the best entry setups. Look at that, guys. Exactly what I'm talking about. Now those contracts are well over at $450, guys. Are already up 33% here had I taken them. Now, unfortunately, I did not take them. I'm very skeptical on the market today, but I want you guys to understand, and I'm not trying to be one of those traders where, oh, coulda, woulda, shoulda, because you guys understand that usually you take these kind of trades. This is exactly my model, the break and retest strategy. 15-minute got a candle close below. This was the 15-minute candle close below. Then the next 5 minutes, which is my model, the break and retest, wait for a 15-minute candle close below. Then you go on a 5-minute time frame to enter in on the entry. And this is the retest here, guys. So these contracts are well over, hit $100 a piece, which would have been a $100 gain, which would have been 33%. And that is exactly the kind of trades that I look for, guys. These are the kind of trade setups that I wait to find, because you wait for these one and done. You see, all of this in between here was just noise. Now, I know my computer's kind of laggy. It just can't keep up with what's going on, but everything in between is just noise. You got to wait for your levels to get breaking out. Now, you can see it did try to bounce here. Matter of fact, it bounced here early. You can see last time we bounced here, we bounced. Then again, bounce a little bit, but again, I don't take any trades here. I'm gonna wait for a breakout and a retest. So again, we broke out here, you captured the retest, and boom. Now again, guys, not gonna lie, a little bit sad I didn't catch those contracts, but there she goes, man. Even though we missed that trade, Nvidia has a very good setup here on the 15-minute time frame and other time frames as well. It looks like a nice rejection. Plus, we got in right below these EMAs, so very nice entry. And let's show you guys our contracts. Our contracts, we got it for 465, and we're just gonna, again, we got next week expiration, so we can hold them a little bit better. And when I come back, guys, we'll break down why we entered this trade. But so far, we're just gonna hold this bad boy, and I'll update you guys when I come back again, just like yesterday. So yesterday, before I had left, I had took the most dumbest trade, and it was on Nvidia here. You guys had saw me taking the entry. It was something like below here. Horrible trade. Of course, looking back at it, even if you look back on a different time frame, I mean, this is what I traded, guys. I tried to go short here. You guys saw literally the most dumbest idea in the world. I lost $57 off that. I'm going to show you guys that as well with transparency. But guys, check this out. Try to take puts below here, but it literally disrespects my trade idea and my whole trading style, because you guys know I do like to use the EMAs as rejection. So there's literally no point of taking puts here when we're right above these EMAs. I need to take puts when we're below the EMAs. In this case, I literally did not. So you can see it's on a bullish trend. There's literally no reason to go bearish on it. I decided to think that market was going to reject here, SPY rejected. So I tried to follow momentum with some Nvidia, even though Nvidia was literally the most strongest stock this day, which was crazy. So guys, just understand this trade here was the most dumbest trade I could have ever taken. $57 lesson with this one. And I'm also going to show you guys the SPY trade that I took today. So here is the trade that I took today on SPY. Very nice trade here. I'm gonna show you guys the setup and show you guys how I caught the dip entry, because this was a very nice dip entry here. Using the EMAs in my favor, check this out. What's going on here? We're above these EMAs, you guys can see. Plus we're above this little support here, which in this case we have just been bouncing all week. Somewhat sometimes getting, you know, fake out to the downside, not actually staying below. Unfortunately, you can just see that we're actually finally above the EMAs in general. So you can see these candlesticks in the pre-market are above the EMAs, trying to break above. We got the break above. We got another strong push right out the gate at open. And all I did, guys, was catch the dip entry here. And all we did today was make a little small, you can see my entries here. This is actually showing yesterday's trades, but let's show just today's trades. So you guys can see just today's trades. We got a call for $406, sold at $472, so we made a nice $66 gain. Then I tried to go for short, or no, I tried to take puts for $6. Of course, ended up going nowhere, so we ended the day with a nice $60 on a day. So that was the only trade that we took today. And you guys can see very simply, all it is just a retest bounce of support on this EMA here. Plus if I go on the 5-minute time frame as well, you guys can see, look at this. So the only reason why I took this call entry is because you guys can see first 5 minutes of market being open, bullish engulfing, straight off the EMAs, strong push to the upside, then a bearish engulfing here out of nowhere. I don't even have a level up here, so it is what it is. I don't really care. But I noticed that we did try to bounce here, very strong amounts of buyers. Plus, this is just 7 a.m. news, so don't trade anything here. Again, watching the market here, big sell-off candle starts to tend to bounce here. Buyers are stepping in just a little bit, holding it just a little bit above these EMAs. And the reason why I entered was because literally the last couple seconds of this 5-minute candle being open, you can see the volume's getting very strong. Strong hold of this EMA, long way to downside, so I entered. What I'm noticing, guys, is I did get a little bit chopped out here, so check this out. So I had Monday expirations, and this little chop here actually made me lose 5% of value of my contracts. And then we got a nice pumped all the way to 25% to 22ish%, pulls down, guys. This little pullback, even though it's a full-on dollar, which actually does ruin the value of the contracts, ended up losing from 25% to 16%. So I was up over $80, or no, over $100 on this trade at one point. But then unfortunately, this thing pulled back, put me at 16% gains, and I just had to sell it for that. Now, looking back at it, of course, this definitely would have just been a little bit of a small pullback before some more upside. And as soon as I got out, guys, these contracts went ballistic. So now these contracts went all the way up to over $600 from a $400 entry. But either way, guys, this is a very nice trade on my end. All I did was catch the dip entry bounce. So you guys see, very nice bounce here. And that's all the trade was. So yesterday's trades off Nvidia was horrible. Today's trade off this, using my trade style, using the bounce here, using the EMAs, very good trade setup. Now looking back at yesterday, had I traded SPY, guys, look at how I would have traded SPY. So I don't necessarily want to be a coulda, woulda, shoulda, woulda trader, but I will say, look at the price action, guys. This is how I trade. So look at this. Of course, you guys know I don't trade the first 15 minutes of market being open, but the first 15 minutes of market being open, we drop below these EMAs, bearish. Then comes the bounce at the support, bullish engulfing, decent buyers are creeping in, bounces above. Then this is where it throws me off. We're above the EMAs. Are we going to try to hold? We tried to hold, ultimately sold back in and climbing on and back down, back below the EMAs. Come back up to retest this general area and ends up coming back to the support. And again, guys, look at this. Very nice push back down to the downside at the support. Look at the candles, guys. What are the candles telling you? They're trying to hold, but there's so much action going on here. Ultimately, the sellers take control. Then you got the nice retest here, another retest here, or another retest entry here. And again, guys, look at this. Even again, another retest entry here. So many opportunities in the market, and all we have to do is just execute on them. And again, another re-entry up here. It's very simple. That's all it is. Now, with all that being said, guys, now it's time to tune over to our TradeZella and show you guys the transparency before we hop off and the week. And let's do that right now. Yeah, here's my trades for the week. $119, really not too impressive, to be very honest. Of course, I'm only taking the 1-to-1s to 1-to-1.5s to 1-to-2s when I can catch them. I'm trying to shoot for 1-to-3s, but market's just not really giving them. Today is that kind of day. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but pull that. Either way, we're doing pretty decent. Ever since we started this TradeZella account, this is what we've been making. We started on Wednesday. Didn't take any trades, which we already made a video on why we didn't take any trades these days, and you guys can see I'm very transparent. I already posted and aligned and showed you guys literally my order sheets on my Charles Schwab to show you guys I literally took no trades on Thursday, Friday, and I only entered one on Monday, which was share trading, and I showed you guys that on last video. So understand, here we are again. We're gonna do the same thing, show you guys my P&L on my orders on my thing, orders on here, and orders on here, so it can all three line up, so nobody can say none of this matches, because no, it's gonna match. Watch. Gotta go live in the Discord, but before we go live in the Discord, guys, and mind you, it's 4:30 p.m. We're gonna do a quick trade recap, show everything that we did today, yesterday, and throughout the whole week. But anyways, this is how I'm gonna show you guys my transparency. So let's go back a day before, so you guys can see 313 to 314, which is just 2 days of the most recent price action. And you guys see it's March 14th, meaning that all I'm going to show you guys is literally yesterday's orders and today's orders, since I had missed out on showing you guys. So again, it lines up with what I just showed you guys here. So yesterday I took an NVIDIA trade, a put here. You guys can see I lost 12%, $57 loss. And you guys can see this was my entry. A $466 entry, sold at $409, so a $57 loss. It literally adds up to this here. Maybe I can even pull it up and go more in depth, which we can. You guys can see, entered in for $466, sold it at $409, and you guys see 466 sold at 409.
How's it going, Jay?
Then today's trades as well. And you guys can see how it lines up perfectly, because the 400 Schwab is literally the 1400 Schwab here. But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up today's video. We're gonna go live in the voice chat, and I'll see you guys in the voice chat.